This is chapter 45 and Beyond Exile. It's called The Post of Your Choice. In the last chapter, Frank was reunited with Letizia, who kind of followed him from Mexico and back to Berkeley, and they hooked up again at his sunny apartment on Benvenue Avenue. She goes, "Hey, let's go down to Gardena and gamble." They take a trip to LA, to Gardena, to the lowball poker rooms, and they're not there for a day. They're there for many, many months, winning at the onset and then going into a huge tailspin and losing everything. At which time they've returned broke back to Berkeley, and I would assume that it should have been the dissertation that he was so close to finishing was postponed due to that little romp with Letizia. And as you may recall in earlier chapters, so Letizia was a good gambler. When they were back in New York, in Scarsdale, they were playing poker with Billy Collins, and they were cleaning him out. And then after that, there was dice on the train to Philadelphia and so forth. So they're both back into Berkeley, a little more broke. They can head back to the apartment, and nothing's going on at the apartment. But there's a new direction to the east. And that puts us in a scene 53, which is the Hillgard apartment building, which is adjacent to his apartment house. They're crashing the Hillgard apartment when a friend drops by with acid. And that's Marty, or Chunky. You look at Marty. To Frank, "Dig the diggers, man." That's a line from Love and Hate. And then there's, he presents acid, so you look at the acid. And it says, "It usually works better if you take it." That's very funny there. So we will take acid. And they trip the bus up to Tilden Park. The trails don't make sense. There's poison oak everywhere. So here's just a path in the park, in the tranquil Tilden Park, with looks like scrub oak, and I don't know what else is around there. Looks pretty remote. They see a boulder. They make love on a granite boulder. Come back scraped, bruised, and thirsty for beer. So we can't do any more love making on the boulder, so the couple goes south. And that puts us in scene 30, the Rose Garden. Which, see if we go northeast, that puts us all the way to the BART station, the transit stop, and there's no BART there, so they're not going that way. They can go west. And that puts us back at the Hillgard apartment building where they met Marty. And then, there's beer there. It is beer, it is cheap, it is good. It is Heineken. They take the beer. Frank is convinced LSD is over. Frank had a hard time sleeping. He's woozy for 2 days. You are Frank. So we're the woozy Frank. And let's head back to the apartment with Letizia. And there's Letizia. He looks at her, and he's not playing around with her anymore. He looks at his bed. And then the sores come out. His face, his neck, his penis and balls are covered in itchy ooze. Oh dear. Poor Frank. Let's look at the ooze. It's red, it's white, it's leaking where he scratches, it's swollen, grotesque. Oh dear Frank. I don't know, is that the poison oak in the park, or is it something that Letizia might have caught with her encounters with the pimps and Gardena? It's hard to figure this one out. Let's see. He looks at Letizia. He's hallucinating faces and places as Letizia watches from a cane chair, reading Cannery Row, checking the bubbling lentil soup. And he speaks to Letizia. I'm flying to Milan tomorrow, she says. See a doctor if it gets worse. It's over. We're even now. Don't try to follow me, you'll be sorry. And with that, you see she's just disappeared. So, yeah, Frank he's a very streaky guy, isn't he? So she's gone. He's got a bad case of the clap or something. Looks at his bed. Why don't you... Can't take it now. So, he goes south. And then, here's another junkie. Tito. The local shaman alchemist. He has a drug for all of the days. Alright. To Frank. Still above ground, brother? Which is kind of a joke since Frank's a digger, but... I need some dope. I need some of your old snake oil. I need some smack. Dope? No. I need some of your old snake oil. To Frank. In trouble again, I see. You need penicillin? Spelled incorrectly. That's right, penicillin. And he says, this stuff should be named penis healing. And Frank says, this stuff should be renamed poison. So, Tito leaves. He's acquired some penicillin, but Frank has ooze with him. We go back to his apartment. He's looking at this bed. No. But he has in the inventory now penicillin, and of course the ooze is on him. So let's take the penicillin. Let's put it on, try it on Frank. It doesn't do anything. Let's try it on ooze. And then when you do that, well, the penicillin went away. Let's look at his bed. And so, after applying the penicillin and going to bed, it takes a week of rest and bootleg penicillin before Frank can think straight. His penis finally looks okay. Okay, so he's kind of back on his feet. Look at the refrigerator. It is empty and the cupboard is bare. Alright, so Frank needs to get back on his feet. So he's got to find something to do. Find something to eat. So, we can go west here. And that takes us into San Francisco. South goes to the airport. This takes us north across the bridge. And that takes us into Scene 55, the seafood section at the North Side Market. And this is kind of an irony, but here are the smoked oysters, the food that back in Recurring Dream, he was warned not to steal the smoked oysters in the North Side Market because it'll ruin his parole. I know a snack when I see one. Psst, nobody's watching, so... He walks to the North Side Market and steals a tin of smoked oysters to accelerate his recovery. Okay. So he's feeling better. And now all the X's are, all the arrows are here. All the directions are available now at university. And this southeast is a new one we haven't been to before, so let's go there. And that puts us into scene number 56, the Cal Berkeley Library. He's typing the final copy in the library when he sees the white goddess and every woman walking, every woman reading, every woman dreaming, and every woman is Letizia. So, it seems half of his mind is into finishing the dissertation, the other half is... And you see, it's a question mark, Letizia. Is it her, or is it just some woman who looks like her, of course? He's hopelessly invaded, totally possessed by this woman who's walked out on him. Can you speak on her doppelganger? No. But the dissertation seems to be complete. The final pages of the dissertation have just been typed. All is in order. All outstanding work, Frank. That's more important anyway. He takes the finished product back to Cal. And here we see on the campus Dean Welch. Dr. Welch is cordial in their last meeting. Speak to him. Speak to Dean Welch. Let's just give him the dissertation. It should be a mere formality at this point just to give this to him. Or that's what happened in the chapter called The Prodigal Son. Now that your doctorate is complete, you'll be receiving some intriguing offers soon. I'd like to see you here at GTU, but our policy requires a distance of 3 years. You might consider Hartford or Princeton. Altizer sent us a letter naming you the next great American theologian. If you can give up sleeping on floors and chasing foreign skirts, I'll assist you to the best of my ability. I'm securing the academic post of your choice. Wow, Frank. Good for you, Frank. Good old Dean Welch. And then you see the GTU, Graduate Theological Union. You can talk to them. No? The chairman who assigned us Altizer earlier. You can speak to the chairman. To Frank. Congratulations, Frank. Would you like a glass of wine? I would be so honored. No, thank you. I don't drink. I don't think it's a good idea to lie, Frank. I would be so honored. It is a 1970 Louis Martina Napa Cabernet Sauvignon. Sepsilence. Okay. And he looks at his wine glass here. And when he does, all memory is volcanic, says Frank, to a past Frank. This new America isn't the country of his childhood. He hates this new America. They trashed the Constitution and every defining amendment. They corrupted the Supreme Court and every judge downstream. They installed military control over political puppets engineered by fraudulent computerized elections. They allowed the corporations to use consumers as terminal quality control. They sacrificed the America he loved to nihilism and perverted will to power. And the American people don't care. Now he understands Aristotle. Sometimes flight is the most intelligent, the most efficient way to fight. Interesting observation, Frank. He takes the wine glass. Over the rim of his wine glass, maybe Frank sees Letizia swinging down LeConte in a blue blouse and pleated white skirt. Or not, Frank, but we'll see what happens. What are you going to do, Frank? Are you going to blow these people off? He looks at Dean Welch. And to Frank, the dean says, "Are you leaving?" Speaking of securing a post, I have a plane to catch. Oh dear. So he once again blows off the folks at Berkeley for a plane to catch. So let's head to the airport then. Mr. Frank, and it just says the United desk at San Francisco Airport. He looks at that. And he is in the sky, leaving San Francisco, going one direction, another. This is either a very long plane flight. So he takes the he flies from San Francisco to Milan, and that takes us back to scene 108, Milano Malpensa Airport. How about that? Back to Italy. He finds a cheap ticket on United, lands at Malpensa, and devotes a long bus ride to details of the hunt. So he's gonna find Letizia here. There's a bus line. I guess Polo's not around, but he was the cabbie who drove us around earlier when we were in Milan. The bus to Central takes him. Scene 109, the Central Milan Business District. Now, we've been here before. She once worked for an interior design magazine with an office near Piazza Repubblica. Let's start north again and work our way around. So, scene 110, the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele. And she's not there. The Restaurant Brera, she's not there. And then we can go east. The local barber shop. Of course, she's not there. Southeast. This is where he met Angelica that one time. C114. Corso Porto Romano. She's not there. Berlitz Language Center. Not there. Chapel near Santa Maria del Grazi. Not there. The sultry Piazza Cavour, not there. This is where her loft used to be. And if you go north, that's the Cardona railway station. East is back to the gallery. So we go west, we go down. But we can go west to scene 118. And this takes us to the Piazza Repubblica, supposedly where she once worked. So he stands under the awnings of a flower shop from 8 to 10 in the mornings and 4 to 6 in the evenings to catch her upcoming the Metropolitana. Frank has become a stalker. And then you see Confetti Flowers is the name of a florist. You look here. On the third day, a little after 5, Letizia's walking by. Well, holy smokes, he lucked out. There she is. He looks at her. She's got a split lip and a shiner. She's got a new lover, a Florentine poet. Let me speak to her. No, she doesn't want an espresso. No, she doesn't want to play roulette in Venice. Caridwin, I love you. No, I told you not to come. I said you'd be sorry. And she's gone. So, yeah. Didn't work, Frank. Not a good idea. So, he did find her in Milan. And so he heads back to Piazza Cavour. And a new chapter begins called Ulrich. So we're going to pause the game right here. That was a pretty long chapter. That was called the Post of Your Choice in chapter 45 in Beyond Exile. I hope you're enjoying this, and stick around. We've got we're more than 2/3 of the way finished this adventure. Thank you.